One of the games I am anticipating most this year is Sea of Stars, and with this year's Steam Next Fest, we were bestowed with the gift of a short gameplay demo of the title, and it's definitely shaping up to be what I hoped for and more. Now, the demo itself is extremely limited in scope, a small portion designed to get used to having the movement or getting used to how the movement around the world works, a very small portion about movement through the overworld and how that is, as well as a longer portion of the demo inside of what can be described as a dungeon with some light puzzle solving and a heavy emphasis on the combat of the game. And I must say it, the game is exactly what I hoped for that it would be, and much, much more. Immediately, you may notice that the game seems to be taking visual cues from the RPGs of old. Chrono Trigger, Secret of Mana, games of that era on the SNES, and you'd be absolutely right. It was designed initially to evoke that sort of nostalgia while bringing entirely new things to the game and its visual aspects. So, visually, it harkens back to those days on the SNES, albeit updated to modern resolutions and details despite the visual appearance. So what I mean here with updated visual appearance is that it's more vibrant, there's more colors, there's more movement within the animations, it's more alive. From character details to world details to enemy details to animations to the details and sprites and conversations, it's all top notch while remaining perfectly nostalgic. I think the largest improvement we have here is that the world does have dynamic lighting, which brings another fantastic layer to the detail available, be it in a cave, a town, or pub. This just creates another fantastic visual layer to digest as the player. Sound-wise, it is also fantastic. The environmental sounds, the sounds when the skills are being used, the sounds the enemies make as they're using their skills, the ambient noises. Everything sounds like it's an extremely updated SNES game, so no longer are we listening to our quad or 8-channel audio. This is the full sound we'd get from a traditional, standard, modern game. It's, like I said, updated to use the more channels that are available here with modern technology, so it really does help modernize while maintain that old nostalgic feeling of the games of yesteryear, yesterdecade, yester 2 decades, yester fortnight decade, whatever you want to say. And that's not even really mentioning the music, and the music is really where it comes in. Sabotage Studio, the developers behind the game, have gotten Yosunori Mitsuda, composer for Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross, as well as more modern games such as the Xenogears series, to work on Sea of Stars, and it definitely shows. No longer constrained to the limited technology of a SNES for these old-style JRPGs, and more in line with what he was able to do with the Xeno series, Sea of Stars has allowed Mitsuda to flex those creative muscles and create an extremely updated style music that seems to be both present and pays homage to his past work while having a fantastic modern flair on it. Now, there was an extremely limited amount of music available in the demo, a whole 4 or 5 tracks between the few zones you're in, the title screen, the town, but it's fantastic. All tracks are fantastic. It's both nostalgic and new all at the same time, and easily one of the things I was looking forward to most before the demo and still after having played the demo. Even with the gushing over the nostalgic yet new visual appearance and audio of the title, the most important thing is how is the gameplay, because without that, the best looking and sounding game would still be bad games and not fun and not successes. Well, Sea of Stars has that nailed as well. Sea of Stars is a turn-based RPG, a la classic JRPG titles such as the old Final Fantasies and kind of like Chrono Trigger, the inspiration for the game. You take turns attacking with your party members, targeting the enemy via a single target attack or ability, or multiple via multiple targeting ability. Abilities will use your character's MP, while basic attacks will return and regenerate some of the character's MP reserve. A nice addition to add here A bit more is that when attacking or being attacked, you have a button timing that you can press to inflict more damage, mitigate more damage from the attack by blocking, or an extend attack, or power up the attack, and so many other things. Think about specifically the timing feature from Super Mario RPG Legends of the Seven Stars, which was fantastic in that title. It adds a lot more life to the game, as well as complexity, and adds more to the combat where just choosing an attack will get bland and boring after a little while, and keeps it a bit more fresh, needing to learn the different enemies' attacks and skills on when to defend against them for blocking, or your own new skills, when to time them best, when to use the timing feature is all very important. Now, aside from the combat, there is also a heavy emphasis placed on what you could kind of akin to platforming, rather than being locked to a singular path where it just branches here or there, go up and down some stairs, some designated climbing points, etc. There is rather a lot of opportunity for exploration here. There are numerous ledges, gaps, ropes, and plenty of other things like wall surfaces to freely climb up that you can actively climb up, jump down, jump across, tightrope walk across this rope, jump from platform to platform, jump into holes to teleport. This creates a much larger world than you'd initially think by an avenue of exploration and discovery, and this is showcased very well within the demo's first zone. It gets you actively used to this sort of traversal in the areas and really gets you thinking about how I can go about solving these environmental puzzles, or is that a cave that I can actually get to, and gets you looking around the zone for ways to get into that cave, and it rewards you for that. Overall, world exploration, the overworld, is kind of thrown back to more of a classical appearance from older JRPG titles such as the original Final Fantasies. A zoomed out map, larger party traveling from location to location via large sprites. This first overworld portion, and the only overworld portion, we learn that Sea of Stars has one feature that is required to make a game a game. It is the penultimate feature that all games strive to have to reach that highest level to be considered a full game. Skyrim didn't even have it until fairly recently. That's right, Sea of Stars has a fishing minigame. Sea of Stars is officially a full-fledged video game. Outside of this, you do meet a few NPCs from the full game, some pirates, a pirate crew. They are given fantastic, unique designs from one another, and so aside from being unique in visual appearance, they do have unique personalities from one another as well. In this small slice that we are given, a bit of the characterization and conversation we have here gives me hope that the game will continue having, fairly good and decent writing as well as characterization for other NPCs as well as playable characters that you'll run into. While the portion is definitely the smallest bit of the demo, it does lend me to believe that Sabotage Studios was able to step up this game, especially into this new style of game, an entirely new genre from their previous entry of The Messenger. The demo does culminate in a fantastic boss battle, upon whose defeat the demo does end abruptly and immediately. It was challenging enough, using skills to heal and keep the tankest party member alive to further heal other party members when they were on the brink of death. It was definitely a challenge. Could I have min-maxed more efficiently? Absolutely. Could I have probably read the how to play entry for some insight and better tips on the more deep aspects of combat? Absolutely. But I didn't. And the demo was great to figure out as I went along, and I was able to complete the demo successfully and enjoy every moment of it without seeing a game over or party wipe screen or anything like that. So, if this narrow slice of the game in the demo is all we have to go off of, we are in for an absolute treat with Sea of Stars, from visual design, audio design, music, combat, world design, everything. It is slated for its release later this year on August 29th. The demo is available on Steam. I'm unsure about other platforms, but it's free to try. Go ahead and wishlist that game on Steam if you're into these sort of JRPGs. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.